Now, when you mention music in the 757, our next guest is probably the first person that comes to your mind. He really doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to try my best. He radiates positivity and shines light in every room he walks into. We're so excited to have him back. I'd love to welcome my good friend, Chris Keys.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me again. I love coming up here with you guys.
Well, we love having you, and
Yes.
we're glad that you can make some time in your really busy schedule to come hang out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I just introduced you by your stage name,
Yes.
Chris Keys. I'm sure a lot of our audience doesn't even know that's not really your last name.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I hear Chris Keys all the time, and I sometimes get too used to it. I'm like, wait a minute, my name is Christopher Hall. But of course, I perform as Chris Keys, so I get it by everybody. But growing up, I'm Christopher Hall. I started, playing music in church back in the day. I'm Chris Hall. Now I'm Chris Keys. So
I know, I love that.
It's fun.
You're like dueling personalities.
Yeah.
You're releasing your new music under your government name.
Yes.
So what prompted that change?
Well, not like I said, not so much of a change for me because I'm always Chris Hall. But it's like where I started at,
Yep. Back to your roots a little bit.
Back to my roots a little bit,
I love that.
and kind of introducing people to who I am always, and for people who don't know that I'm Christopher Hall and this is who I am, and these are my roots. So
I'm sure it's going to be a long journey. Like people know Chris Key for so long, but now you started as a piano player back in the time when you were 10 years old in church. Now, from that day to today, how your career took over?
Yeah, so starting off in church, 10 years old. My mom, she prayed for my hands, and God blessed me to be able to play, and so I'm playing in church, leading music, worship, and then I kind of get to college, and then we get into a band. And so I started doing, cheap thrills. Ashley knows that.
Oh, yeah.
And so those were fun times. And so Chris Keys just kind of grew on me. And then I just started performing as Chris Keys. And then I started another duo, Lit Keys. And so they just stuck, But I just want people to really kind of get to know Chris Hall.
So now merging these two names,
Merging
Chris
them,
Key and Chris Hall.
Yes.
I love that.
So now you get to continue performing as Chris Keys, but you also get to show people who Christopher Hall is.
Yes.
So my next question is kind of a twofer. What's next for Chris Keys and what's next for Christopher Hall?
Yeah, well, Chris Keys is still, performing and doing a lot of weddings and events and still releasing music but next for Chris Hall, releasing a lot of worship music and I lead worship at my church, and so people get a chance to kind of get to merge those two and see me as who I really am, So it's a great.
I know. I was actually just telling some of our team members that we're going to have to come see you on a Sunday.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yes, we have to. That's
You're
a
going to have
must
to let
do.
me know what time.
Well, I know that you perform in so many events and weddings that now people that want to follow you, just get in touch with you and invite you to their performance, to their wedding or something. How do they do that?
They can, Instagram is a great tool today. So Chris Keys Music on Instagram. And I have a YouTube as well. You can see some of the videos and performances I've done. That's youtube.com/Chris Keys Music as well. Facebook, you can find me, or you can email me. ChrisKeys757@gmail.com. I was giving you out everything. So,
everything. We have to have everything.
You have 757 in the email. It's like you were meant to be here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Of course you were meant to be here.
And if anybody's wondering about booking him for a wedding, you need to look back at our past performances on this show and look at his song White Dress.
Oh, yes. It's still doing great. So
I know, Chris.
Well,
we love to have you here on Living 757. You are very super talented here in the 757 area. We can't just wait to hear you after the break, so please stay with us. Now you hear it all. You can follow Chris Key on all his social media, but now right after the break, he performs live here on Living 757, so don't go anywhere.